ご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Hey everyone, Kakarot 197 again. This time with the second part of mass production units that became better known as ACE units, commander units, or however you want to label them. And in this part, we'll be having a look at 5 machines from the post-1 Year War era. Starting off with the Gym Custom. Essentially a mass-produced version of the NT-1 Alex, the Gym Custom was originally meant as a Federation's next-generation mass production unit.
A GM custom mass production type, remarkable for being totally unremarkable.
While mostly seen using conventional weaponry, the Gym Custom was more than capable enough to wield beam weaponry, making this one of the most deadly mobile suits of its time. With a performance that allowed it to keep up with even Gundam types, the Gym Custom had a price tag to match. This caused the Federation to stick with the much cheaper and equally jack-of-all-trades Gym Kai for the time being, and the existing Gym Customs were handed to various ace pilots who would make the most out of this beast. But this was not the end of the Gym Customs legacy. The Titans took note of this exceptional machine and acquired the assembly lines. The overall design was simplified while also upgrading its sensors and incorporating a brand new frame in the arms that would form the basis for the Gundam Mark II's movable frame. As a result, the Gym Quell was born, a cheaper yet equally high-performing machine. The Gym Quell would then in turn serve as the basis for the Hazel Gundam. Quite the end for the humble Gym Custom. Next up, we have the mass production type Double Zeta Gundam. Given the Double Zeta's incredible performance during the first Neo-Zeon War, it was inevitable that a mass production variant was attempted. Aptly named, the mass production type Double Zeta Gundam. For mass production, various concessions had to be made, such as the removal of the core block system and transformation along with downscaling most of its weapons. Although this downscaling was very relative given the enormous power of the Double Zeta Gundam. As a result, the mass production type Double Zeta was still one of the most powerful mass production units around. As always, this incredible power was not without its problems, and this time it wasn't just the price. The Double Zeta Gundam's head-mounted high mega cannon had the drawback of consuming an enormous amount of energy, and this was no different on the mass production Double Zeta's slightly toned down version. This was of course because the mass production type also had a toned down reactor, meaning that repeated usage of this weapon was still out of the question. While an output of 2,210 kilowatts might sound like a lot if we compare it to contemporary federal mass production units, such as the Gym 3 with its 1,560 kilowatt reactor, when we compare it to Neo-Zeon's Dogen Wolf at 5,250 kilowatts, or the original Double Zeta Gundam with an absolutely massive reactor that can output 7,340 kilowatts, it really shows us that the mass production Double Zeta Gundam was woefully underpowered. The mass production plants were halted after only 4 units had been made, one of which would be used in technical tests with the Gundam Delta Kai, and also in Zeon Remnant sweep operations by Federation ace Breyer Rude. An excellent pilot was undoubtedly required to manage the mass production Double Zeta Gundam's energy usage. Next up, we have the Hyakushiki Kai mass production type. Based on the Hyakushiki Kai, the mass production type had seemingly very little changed from its prototype sister unit. The backpack was simplified and it was equipped with less weapons, although it did retain the ability to use all of the Hyakushiki Kai's weaponry. This of course resulted in a mass production variant that retained most of the performance of the Hyakushiki Kai. Although the exact reason of why the project was scrapped is unknown, possible reasons are as always high production costs and handling difficulties by rookie pilots. There is one more possibility, and that is that Anheim Electronics might have wanted to focus their production capacities on the land combat Hyakushiki Kai, the ground-type mass production version of the Hyakushiki Kai. While only a single Hyakushiki Kai mass production type saw action during testing of the Gundam Delta Kai and was later destroyed in battle against Titan remnants, the land combat Hyakushiki Kai did see limited production, and its units were distributed to various Karuba ace pilots on Earth. Then we have the Riga Z, one of the many attempts to mass produce the high-performance Zeta Gundam. Anheim Electronics decided to remove the Zeta's costly transformation and replace it with the quote-unquote back weapon system. This unit would slide over the top of the Rigazi to turn it into the Wave Rider. In addition to this, it also featured a pair of beam cannons and extra propellant tanks. The big problem was that the entire back weapon system had to be ditched in order to go back to mobile suit mode. This, in combination with the relatively high performance and costly base unit, meant that only 2 units would be made. One of which would be piloted by ace pilots Amuro Ray and later Kyra Sue. However, despite being a more than capable machine, its pilots always had the bad luck of running into, simply put, more capable machines. This meant that, unlike many other units on this list, the Rigazi didn't earn the best reputation, and the second unit that was assigned to the Rockeye Loom during the Laplace incident was never used. One attempt to improve the Rigazi was made in form of the Rigazi Custom, which was essentially a souped-up Rigazi with a fully functional transformation, but the development of the new Gundam quickly put a halt to those plans. And finally, we have the always bulky Zaku 3. A distant relative of the one-year war Zaku, its strongest point was just how modular the machine was, allowing pilots to easily modify their machines to their likings or specific mission requirements. This even resulted in some machines receiving their own designation, such as Masha Marcello's Zaku 3 Custom. Despite proving to be highly popular with Neo Zeon aces, the decision was made to instead go with the Doben Wolf as their next generation mobile suit. This machine was truly a walking arsenal with a monstrous 5,250 kilowatt generator, the most powerful generator in a mass production unit ever at that point. Other than that, it also featured a quasi-Psychomo system, allowing all types to control guided weapons just like a new type and perform an all-range attack. In a twist of fate, when Neo Zeon split in two, most Doben Wolf pilots deserted the Glemmy sides, while most of the Zaku 3 pilots would stay loyal to Haman. This meant that, unlike many other mobile suits that competed to become the next generation mass production mobile suit, these machines would actually face each other in battle. While we can't say for certain if it was mainly because of the pilots or because of their machines, the Zaku 3 would routinely outperform its main competitor. So, which one of these do you think would have made a great, fully fledged mass production unit? And if you think that I forgot about an important one, leave that one down in the comments as well. If you enjoy my content, leave a like, subscribe, or consider supporting the channel through either Patreon Blades if you want to get some high quality Razor Blades, or Patreon. And that's all for this video, and I'll see you all next time, when we have a look at 5 more mass-produced units turned aces from the alternate universes.